Today I'm going to review a little control board project. This basically is made for Revenco bill collector. And what we're going to talk about today is this machine originally had the ability to price to $775. When you install this board, we're basically going to trick it and have the ability to price to $31. Just a couple things to remember. Basically what we're doing, we're using the dollar input to trigger the quarter input. So it's going to be very important that you cover this display right here because it's not going to be accurate for your customers. The on-site installation time of this board literally is 1 minute. And then of course you'll have to cover this over. Most important thing before you install this board, this needs to be working. So I want you to put in a $5 bill, have it set for $5 and make sure it works, because this, we've had calls where people take these out of storage, put this in, and it doesn't work. Basically, the installation process, you'll be in your board, and now I'm going to kind of come in and zoom in here. So right here we have two plugs, and of course at this point you want to have your machine unplugged, and basically what you want to do is just kind of hold the board down firmly, remove this connector, hold the board down firmly, and remove this. And I just want you to hold the board down because it's old and I don't want to stress any solder joints. The part you're going to receive is going to look like this or similar to this. This particular board here has a couple connectors that were designed so we can, makes it very easy to add a credit card reader to this machine. So your board, if you order it just for the validator update, it won't have this big red connector. But basically the way it's installed is the same. So what we're going to do when we put this board part in, the connectors are going to be facing inwards. So all you do is slide this bigger board on first. Then the smaller board here just has a wire connecting it. The smaller board goes to the lower connector. Once that's done, I then recommend you put this connector on the smaller header. And then this board right here, or this connector right here, goes on the upper board. Now that is the entire installation process. Now just so you know the limitations of this Revenco board, if you have this priced at $9 and they put in a $10 bill, it's going to accept it. I mean, this Revenco board does not have the ability to turn off in certain situations. So if you were to price things for $11 and they put in a 10 and a 5, the customer is going to lose $4. So when you're doing this, you want to have really good signage. The easy way to completely get around that is just to use these boards, and we can add a NIAX or USA Technologies credit card reader, and that's kind of the way I would go. But for those of you that want to stay with cash, this is the way it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply power, and then you'll see a light will come on this board, and that you'll know it's good. And then I'm just going to show you how it works. So here we have our board installed. So basically, I'm going to put in a $1 bill. So you're going to see what happens. It's putting up 25 cents credit. So in other words, so that's why this kind of needs to be covered. And so this is correctly working. So your first $1 you put in, should say 0.25, so you know everything's installed correctly. And then of course, as you're setting your dip switches, just what you need to remember is basically if you set it for $1, that would be $4. So you just essentially multiply 4 on those dip switches as you're doing your pricing.